Hi everyone, it's Duchess. If you're looking for a chill, relaxing experience that lets you escape into a whimsical world of frogs, then you'll want to hop right into Kamaeru. Developed by Humble Reads and published by Armor Game Studio, Kamaeru is a unique frog farm simulator that's set to release later this year. It combines elements of more classic farming simulators with an irresistibly cute and vibrant aesthetic. In this unique experience, you'll take on the role of Cleo, an aspiring frog farmer who abandoned city life to take on the task of building and maintaining her own thriving pond ecosystem with the help of Axel, her childhood best friend. From cultivating the perfect amphibious environment to breeding rare frog species and selling your products to make some money, Kamaeru promises a delightfully compelling gameplay loop. The gameplay of Kamaeru is deceptively simple, presented as a charming point-and-click simulator for PC. While I'm uncertain how the cursor controls will translate to consoles like the Nintendo Switch, my best guess is that the analog stick will steer the on-screen pointer. At its core, the game revolves around expanding your frog farm by undertaking story quests and decorating both the main farm and the adjacent wetlands area with various items at your disposal. This secondary wetlands zone serves as a hub for cultivating an enriching biodiverse environment brimming with insects and natural materials for you to collect. Decorating the farm is an absolute joy, largely because placing objects doesn't feel like a typical gameplay mechanic. Instead, the game's vibrant art style evokes the nostalgic charm of applying stickers to the pages of a book. Each new decor piece you adorn your farm with feels like a fun new embellishment, making for an oddly satisfying and slightly addictive experience as you watch your frog paradise blossom over time. Kamaeru's most intriguing feature is this camera mode that allows you to snap pictures of a huge variety of frogs inhabiting your farm. As you expand your farm, you'll encounter all sorts of cute amphibian species to add to your personal frog decks. In addition, you can craft functional items using purchasable materials earned through gameplay progression. The wetlands features areas like a kitchen for cooking ingredients into sellable goods like berry jam, as well as a mill for producing paper products at an even higher profit. These crafting activities are accompanied by simple, quick-timed minigames where you click at the right moment to maximize your output. While I do understand the intent behind adding these interactive elements, they become excruciatingly tedious very quickly. Too often, I found myself mindlessly grinding the same kitchen minigame, churning out batch after batch of berry jam just to get enough coins for new bushes or embellishments for the wetlands. Once you discern the repetitive patterns, these minigames lose their novelty at an alarming rate, devolving into shallow, predictable clicking exercises devoid of any meaningful depth or variation. One aspect of Kamaeru that may give some players pause is its lack of flexibility when it comes to save data management. The game only allows for a single save file at any given time, with no way to create multiple save slots or load previous save states. While the streamlined approach does align with Kamaeru's pick-up-and-play simplicity, it also eliminates a common quality of life feature that many gamers have come to expect and rely upon. The inability to maintain backup saves or revert to earlier progress can be incredibly frustrating, especially in sandbox-style games where you might accidentally make a change you will regret. Kamaeru's visuals are undoubtedly one of its biggest charms. The game's sticker book-inspired art style oozes personality. From the pond environments to the frog character models, every element feels like it was plucked straight out of the pages of an illustrated children's book. The vibrant color palette leans heavily on bright, cheerful pastel shades and rich verdant greens that capture the essence of nature. Complementing the visuals is an equally soothing musical accompaniment. A smooth acoustic guitar-driven soundtrack sets the tone for a relaxing farm life experience. The peaceful melodies playing in the background provide the perfect ambience for losing yourself in the routine of tending to your amphibious endeavors. However, it's worth noting that in the review copy I previewed, the game seemed to be locked at a 720p resolution. On my 1440p display, this resolution constraint resulted in graphics that looked noticeably pixelated and blown up, diminishing some of the crisp's visual fidelity. It's an eyesore that frequently pulled me out of the immersive aesthetic. That said, this might just be an issue isolated to the beta build, so I'm hopeful the full release allows for higher resolutions and true high-definition visuals. While Kamaeru's visuals and background music excel at establishing a warm, inviting atmosphere, the game's audio design falls short in other areas. One glaring problem is the distinct lack of any sound effects accompanying dialogue boxes or user interface interactions. As you progress through the story and converse with characters, text boxes will appear on screen. However, these dialogue prompts are completely silent affairs. There's no subtle shine, click, or any auditory feedback whatsoever to signify when new text appears or selections can be made. The same applies to navigating menus and making various inputs around the farm. This lack of even rudimentary sound effects make the experience feel clunky and outdated at times. Something as simple as a small confirmation noise can go a long way in making interactions feel more responsive and polished. As it stands, the silence is somewhat jarring and breaks the sense of seamless immersion. Despite those issues, Kamaeru's audiovisual design seamlessly captures its intended vibe of a laid-back, cheery farming fantasy. The sticker book world simply begs to be explored and admired, while the tranquil tunes coax you into a state of focus. Kamaeru's narrative follows Cleo, a city girl who finds herself drawn back to her rural roots when her childhood best friend, Axel, invites her to join his newly opened frog farm venture. This sets the stage for a classic revisiting their hometown premise as Cleo reintegrates into the cozy farmland community. Along the way, she crosses paths with a vibrant supporting cast like the scientific frog breeder Annabelle, furniture customizer Dejena, construction worker John, and other personalities. Their individual arcs and interactions fuel the game's overarching story about rediscovering one's roots. However, while serviceable as a framing device, the narrative largely treads familiar territory that cozy game fans have likely encountered many times before. The city slicker turned farmer plotline, despite some novel frog breeding twist, adheres very closely to well-worn coming-of-age homecoming story tropes. Much of the dialogue also suffers from feeling overly cliched and unnatural at times. Conversations veer into cheesy territory with writing that lacks nuance and feels more akin to first-draft scripts than naturalistic character voices. When all is said and done, Kamaeru lands somewhere around a 6.5 out of 10 for me. It very much succeeds at its core mission of providing a whimsical, child-friendly simulator experience. The vibrant frog breeding premise and sticker book aesthetic ooze nostalgic charms reminiscent of the third-party animal rescue games that were a staple of many gamers' childhoods, my own included. In that sense, Kamaeru scratches an itch for a new age spin on classic family-friendly farm pet sims from the past. Its simple gameplay loop of cultivating ponds, decorating environments, and collecting new frog species is undeniably therapeutic. The novel hook of amphibious agriculture provides just enough fresh flair to the otherwise familiar genre trappings. However, Kamaeru's unabashed simplicity is also the cause of its letdowns. The gameplay systems sorely lack in depth or variety. The crafting minigames quickly dissolve into mindless repetitive clicking exercises, and the overarching resource gathering management feels reductive even by child-friendly standards. While the narrative framing of a woman rediscovering her rural roots provides decent context, the storytelling itself is hindered by cliché one-note writing. The dialogue is plagued by cheesiness and character arcs, retreading the same coming-of-age small-town life tropes seen in countless other cozy games before it. There's very little creativity here beyond what's expected. So while Kamaeru unquestionably nails its target of delivering a breezy experience for younger audiences, its appeal for older players is shaky at best. The gameplay lacks the nuanced resource loops of more mature sims, and the narrative framework plays things far too safe to leave a lasting impression. And that's my take on it. While we have to wait until its official release later this year to truly experience everything it has to offer, I'm sure this game will build a niche following. Speaking of building a following, don't forget to check out the link in the description to sign up for Minimap, the awesome all-in-one gaming community platform that provided me with the early access copy for this preview. With Minimap, you can go beyond just reading reviews and actually connect with a thriving community of gamers from around the world. Sync up your gaming accounts across all platforms, discover personalized game recommendations based on your preferences, and engage in lively discussions about upcoming titles and more. Their expansive database covers over 150,000 games and features a staggering 3 million user reviews to help you decide what to play next. Their integrated social features, like the ability to create game clubs and chat on Discord, make it easy to find other gamers with the same interest. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve on new and upcoming releases, give Minimap a try using the link down below. See you guys later.